Hey guys, let's go flying once again in Xplane 11. We are currently in the capital city of Poland, Warsaw, and I'm going to fly this SSG Embraer E-170 to Hamburg, Germany. I was looking for a real flight on flightaware.com and this came up, so luckily I have both airport sceneries and this beautiful aircraft scenery as well, or aircraft livery. I don't recall right now who did this, but it looks absolutely gorgeous. Also going to include the link in the description. And this is the Warsaw Chopin Airport. And I'm not going to be able to pronounce the name of the guys who did this. Drizviecki design or something similar. But they also did the New York City XP, Moscow City, and different really high quality airport sceneries. But actually it's one of their best ones, I think. It looks great. Now we have Renaissance Hotel here, Marriott. And we have actually people moving inside the terminal. Yeah. This guy's just moving through stuff here. Actually, Poland has really beautiful women. Well, not her. But I had a girlfriend who was from there and she was really, really lovely. But back to flying. Let's get this baby ready for departure. It's a bit windy and rainy here right now, but shouldn't be much of a problem. Now this SSG, you can also get the Embraer E-Jet 195 as a package, or just get the two jets individually. And SSG also did the 747-8 Intercontinental and the freighter version. And their design philosophy is that they do not simulate a lot of systems, but you can fly this plane, get it from A to B without too much problems. And actually it's a lot of fun to fly. If you're looking for a study level simulation, then maybe it's not the best airplane for you, but actually I come to enjoy it a lot. At the beginning I wasn't too crazy about the Embraer jets, but actually I like it a lot. And also I'm using a retexture of the cockpit. Also link is going to be in the description. And it looks a bit better than the original texturing of the cockpit. Alright, here's the loading. We have this little adjustment display. I can set the aircraft up for flying. Actually, let's establish electrical power first. There's also sometimes a bit of a problem with the controls to drag it. And sometimes it could be a little bit difficult to drag it in the correct position. And nav light on, emergency lights armed. And put these two guys on the on position. And I can connect the GPU. And it's going to take about 2 minutes until everything is displayed here. Here we have some messages. I think IRS is already aligning, yep. And it's not going to take a long time, not as realistic as in real life. And now we can go ahead and take care of the loading. Actually, I think I have set 90%. So set the payload. Zero fuel weight is 28.1, that's correct. And I have to look at my flight plan. Let me just get my iPad quickly. So, how much fuel? 4,633. Now, let's go manual. I could put in the flight plan and I think the computer then calculates the required amount of fuel, but well, let's go with 4,000. Yeah, let's go with 4,700. Be a bit generous. And fuel. And it's going to increase our CG mean aerodynamic chord. That's going to be, I think, 25. Soon we have this panel right here, if the iris is aligned. Here we go. And actually let's listen to the 80s. I think from the previous flight I did. What's invalid format? I have to click here. Yep, here we go. Okay, 3006. Yep. And runway 29 is going to be the active runway. That's great. And here is everything set. And yeah, we have 25%. Now we can go ahead and take care of the flight plan and FMC. So initialize the position. Actually, before that, in the manual of the plane, it recommends that before each flight we have to go to the menu and reinitialize the FMC, so there will be no problems. And now we can go ahead and go initialize the position once again. And we go with GPS 1, and the route is going to be Echo Papa Whiskey Alpha. That's Warsaw and no, not F. That's Hamburg, and activate it. Now in the nav page we can set the departure and arrival. So 29, and we need the LOLC7G. With this transition, activate route data. And pull up the flight plan. And here we go, using array T174. Yep, 174. Going to bring us to Indig. Then we go L980. It's not going to be a quote-unquote tutorial flight, but I think you can follow these steps to fly this airplane. So add web. L619. Yeah, airtime is around 1 hour and 20 minutes, I think. One hour and 34 minutes. So, and Bumil, which is already sounding familiar. That's near Hamburg. And the next one, M748 to Rarup, and I think that's already the arrival point or part of the star. Great, now back to nav page, arrival, runway 33. And do we have a ILS arrival for 33? Well, let's go with the localizer. And Raru 3A, that's it. And this transition, great. Now the flight plan. Let's make sure there are no discos. Yeah, here's one. And activate it. Yep, now it's looking alright. Let's go to the performance page, and what do you have here? Here these values are set automatically. We cannot put anything here as the cost index. We have to do it manually. But these values are actually good for high level cruise. We're going to cruise at 310. At lower levels or lower altitudes, these speeds can cause a little bit of oscillation to the aircraft according to the manual. So we have to adjust them if we would be using a lower altitude. And it's just going to increase this cruise number to 0.78, which is going to be 10 knots faster than I think we'll be cruising at 290 with 0.78, but we will see that later on. And now we have to put in the fuel reserve. Minimum is 1000, so I'm going to put it right there, and just make sure we have 310 here and confirm. It should change, yeah, right there. Computer just been updated. We have flight level 310 with Mach 0.8 or 7.78. And now we need the takeoff performance data. Yeah, that's looking alright to me. And flaps 1 and the V speeds. You can go to the quick reference handbook or the pilot handbook for the E-jets. Comes with the airplane. And let's see, flaps 1. What is our gross weight? 32 or 33, round it up. So it's going to be 134 as V1. Then 143 as VR. And V2 147 knots, and target speed is going to be 191. Alright, now we have everything. I think it just sets the reference speeds here at this speed bar. And there's also a table where we can get the trim settings. However, it says in a note that all trim settings are down, but this will indicate up when I set trim. And it's going to be 3.
Trim.
If I would have trimmed in the down position, then it would go outside of this green band and it would not be good. But actually, let's take a look at the aircraft right here. And now we can see trim position and 3 degrees down, so that's looking alright. And now we are actually good to go. No messages here. Oh no, before that we need to take care of the autopilot. So flight directors, yeah, that's on. Speed, I'm going to leave it on manual right now. And let's leave it on 200, I think. The VFS is 191, but I think 200 is going to be alright. Once we have taken off, then I'm going to switch it to the FMS speeds anyway. Alright, and now heading. Let's put 290. And altitude. Let's put 6500, which is the transition altitude. According to the Navigraph charts, for departure we need to go to 6000 anyway and then contact ETC, but we are flying offline, so not going to be a problem. After that we go to 310 and FPA. I'm not going to be needing that. Alright, now the APU. Come on. Well, doesn't want to start. Now it is. Yeah, sometimes these controls can be a little bit difficult. And APU starting. And let's make sure the doors are closed. And how are we doing with the APU? Yeah, it's already connected. GPU has been disconnected automatically. If we would have the white light illuminated here, then it would indicate that the APU gen is not connected to the electrical system. But now we have APU power. So we can disconnect the ground power unit. And we are almost ready to taxi. Or actually for pushback first. I wanted to put on the red beacon light. And now we can use the built-in towing system. We can also use better pushback. But I'm going to use the default one, and AutoGate doing its thing. And here we can click here and enable the nose wheel steering and engage the towing. And we're going backwards. Yeah, we have this little pushback truck here. And World Traffic 3 already doing its thing. A320 taxiing to the runway. Alright, now we can go ahead and stop here. We need to go that way for runway 29. And I'm not sure if you can manipulate the controls. With this tow we can go backwards or forwards, but I'm going to stop right here and set the auto brakes. It looks like the regular old handbrake in a car, and it stopped automatically. Great. Steer off. Yeah, that's put it on automatically, and engines can start. It's also automated. Whoops, I need to drag this to the starting position if it would function normally. Yeah, and the engines are going to start. Whoa, this nose wheel position is not looking really healthy. Alright, now let it stabilize a little bit. Well, actually, we can already go ahead and start number 2. And here, I think we need to put the electrical pump A to auto. And now engine 2 should start. The sounds are alright in this airplane. This G aircraft just taxiing here. And a lot of Wizz Air airplanes, that's nice. Okay, now we are almost ready for taxi. Actually, let's set flaps 1. Nice. Alright, here we go. We can disengage the APU. Come on. And a quick check, yeah. Trim is set, flaps 1. Here APU is shutting down. And enable steering. And here we go. What's actually really nice about this airplane, we have these menus here we can interact with. We can put this to plan mode, back to the map mode, and here we have a drop down menu. I'm not sure if the weather radar is working, but let's put it on. There's a little bit of a storm going on right now, shouldn't be a problem. And here we have a lot of different pages with useful information. So that's really nice. And status page. But let's put it back to the map mode. And increase the range a little bit. With these knobs we can increase the range, and with this one we can test the takeoff configuration. Just like on the A320. And the lady said takeoff okay, so that's great news. I think we can go right here, make this turn. Alright, we are here. I set the parking brakes before runway 29. Auto brakes already set to RTO mode. Now the lights. And here strobe as well. And this sterile sign that indicates for the flight attendants that they should not disturb us, only in case of emergency. And I think at 10,000 feet we can switch it off. I don't know the specific airline procedure for that, but we're going to just do that. And there's a hidden button right here for toga. I'm going to push it, and now we see these two indications here that the toga mode is set. And other than that, we are ready for takeoff. And runway looks clear. There was a Cirrus Vision taxiing here before, crossing the runway. I'm not sure if it's already taken off or just going to. Oh, there are a couple of lightning strikes happening right now. Alright, looks clear to me. That's what all professional pilots say before takeoff. And now we can engage the auto throttle here. And increase the speed for around 40%. And let's stabilize and push the throttle forward, and now auto throttle is engaged. And I need a lot of rudder correction right now to stay on the center line. And V1. Great, we almost used the entire runway, and gear can come up now. Auto brakes already disengaged automatically, and autopilot is working correctly. We are 1000 feet above, so I'm going to engage VNAV, LNAV. Let's put these speeds to the FMS speeds, and autopilot. So let's make sure the flap is up when we reach 190. Now we can go flaps 0. A little bit of a thunderstorm right there. Looking great, so let's make sure we get out of there quickly. But we didn't get any microburst alert, and also we didn't have any wind shear alert, so right now we are climbing at 6500. We can push this button for standard. And 250, yeah, going to increase above 10,000 to 280. And at cruise speeds, I think it's going to be around 290 or 0.78. But we have LNAV and VNAV is working. And increase the range a little bit. Yep, we are coming up at 6.5 and I'm going to increase to 310. Here we go, let's reset the VNAV. Yep, and we are climbing 6.5 standard. Here we go. The cruise phase is coming up. I'm not going to record that one. So not much is going to happen, and I will see you guys when we are preparing for our descent and approach into Hamburg. So, see you then. Alright, here we are. Top of descent point is approaching. We just left Berlin, somewhere in the distance. And we are coming up on Hamburg, Germany. Descent is pretty straightforward. It's going to put 5,000 feet here. It's going to be our local transition altitude, and after that we need to be at 3,000, where we going to intercept the localizer. And now, what else can we do at this point? I'm also going to let people know that we are beginning descent soon. And here we can go to the landing page. And it's going to be flaps 6 for landing, and now we can take a look at the quick reference handbook and fill in these speeds. So gross weight is 30,000 kilograms right now, and the projected landing weight is going to be 29.9. So let's check on the table. Flap 6 full, 29.9. VREF is 118. Then VAC 132. This is the climb speed in case of a missed approach. And target speed 181. And the approach is the VREF plus wind correction. But I'm going to wait with that. Actually, let's put in 126. I think there is an 8 knot wind, headwind for 330, but I'm going to later correct that if need arises. But once again, these are just reference values. And soon we begin the descent. Maybe we need to micromanage or decrease speeds a little bit. Sometimes the aircraft tends to speed up and overspeed a little bit, so actually performance. And how are we doing with descent? Yeah, it's too much, so I'm just going to put 250 here. Oh, no speed. Well, maybe we're going to need to do that manually later on. Can I put 250 here? Oh, okay. Gonna have to do that manually, because we could do 300 with a descent, but we need to pay attention. Alright, here we are at 10,000 feet. Now lights and stereo sign on. And nose light, I'm going to wait with that until the gear is deployed. And we had a last minute runway change. Now we are landing on runway 23. But that wasn't difficult to reconfigure. Had to go to the arrival and just reprogram the approach. And unfortunately the FMC, let's decrease the range a little bit. Yeah, we have these really sharp angles here for turning, so maybe we're going to have to correct that a little bit. Once we are approaching this waypoint Pisas, then I'm going to go to a manual heading and then make a more agreeable turn here to line up with the runway 23. And actually let's go to the performance page back. I did figure out how to set the values here. I had to put in this format 280/.74, so has to be a slash and also a value here, otherwise it won't work. And let's go to the radio page and make sure that the ILS frequency 111.50 is put in. Yep, both nav radios set, and here we go. Now I can put auto brakes to low. And we are at 250. Once we make the turn, then I'm going to decrease speed a little bit. Actually, right now we can go and go to manual speed. And let's go with 220. And then we can go to flaps 1. Alright, now we are flying on a manual heading of 70, or it should be 68, but 70 is okay right now. We are at flaps 2. Yeah, we need to intercept this waypoint pieces at 3000, but actually we are at the local transition altitude, so let's set the barrow. It's 3015. Oops, almost had it. Yep, there it is, 3015. And we are on the manual heading, so we need to intercept this waypoint at 3000. But the FMS did this really sharp angle, so most likely we would overshot the localizer if we would left the plane on VNav or in nav mode. So that would be not really ideal. So once we have flown a little bit and put it back to nav mode, and then we can line up with the runway. The frequency is already set. Course should be set automatically. Alright, here we go, we are almost at 3000. And soon we can put it to nav mode. Well, actually, let's put it to nav mode right now. Well, I cannot really seem to do that. So we need to use the heading mode. And final is going to be 227. Well, not on intercept heading. Oh, that's fair. So let's put it to intercept heading for this waypoint. Well, now it's working. And let's make sure that we are getting down. And now we should be good to go, intercepting that waypoint, and auto brakes are set. Heading, final course is 227. Here we go, nav radios are on. And 100 above, fantastic. And let's see speed. Let's go to 150. And incrementally set flaps. And we can also arm the approach. And localizer is set. And gear down. Flaps full. And we are at 150. I think decision altitude in Hamburg is 50. I'm not sure. Yeah, there it is. 50. Yeah, let's go with radar altitude. And we need to slow down to 132, I think, yeah. Right here, that's the speed I'm going to go with, and we are on the glide slope. So, everything's set for landing. Don't see the runway yet, but let's decrease speed. Yeah, let's go with that speed, 134. And auto throttle, let it stabilize a little bit. And I can see the lights right there in the distance, so we are looking good. So let's quick check. Auto brakes on low, that's alright. Flaps at 6. Now speed brakes should deploy automatically when we touch down. And a little bit of a wind from the right. 4 knots, that's not bad. And we have the lights, great. Now go and disengage the autopilot, and it is my aircraft. Should follow the flight director right there.
Minimums.
All right, and reverse. Manual brakes.
Auto brake.
And can we make this exit? Yes. Actually, is it an exit? Yeah. Maybe just an entrance to the runway, but I'm going to take it anyway. No traffic in sight. Alright, here we are in Hamburg, Germany. Beautiful weather. Alright, flaps fully up. And the lights are on. We are taxiing to the terminal. I think this scenery is from Just Sim. It's looking beautiful. Alright, here we go. I think I'm going to go for a gate. Normally, I think smaller aircraft are parking right here. And that actually wasn't a bad landing. Soon I'm going to watch the replay from different angles. I think maybe the approach speed was a little bit fast. Could have been a little bit slower, but that was my third landing in this aircraft. Haven't really flown that much with it yet. And I like it, I take it. And on the brakes. And here we are. Handbrakes on, and welcome to Hamburg Airport.
Minimums. 30.
So thank you for joining me. That landing was not bad, although we touched down way too far on the runway. Hope everybody enjoyed this video and see you in the next one.